Hello and welcome to the Irish Arsenal GOONER podcast. It's Monday the 6th of March. I'm your host as always, Jonathan Giles. I'm joined by my weekly guests at this stage, John Melia, Carl Osborne and Eamonn Donnelly. How are you lads?
I'll go, John.
All good, matey. Hope you're well.
Evening, Jonathan. Evening, Carl. Evening, John. Monday night there. Crossroads doesn't be on. I was watching Opportunity Knocks there. At the clapometer. It's like a test for sexually transmitted diseases there. I'm making a goulash here. I got a recipe of puskas.
Carlo's really kind.
What's that?
Carlo's
I'm in the middle of making a Hungarian goulash. The Ferenc Puskas kind of Monday night here, you know. So he was a player, by the way. He could play a bit, Puskas, you know.
Just a bit.
I have to say,
yeah. If any of the younger listeners don't know, anybody under the age of 78, have a look at Ferenc Puskas and what's the balance on that boy. He could play, you know. Yeah. He kind of looked a bit like Al Capone.
I thought he was Al Capone.
There you go. Anyway, good evening, everybody. How we doing?
It's nice to have you all on. I hate to see the back of the Jacks after that goulash tonight. It's actually nice. I've had it a few times.
Yeah. Paprika. Yeah. Anyway.
So frustrating, Deirdre. Put a sock in it. As always, you can catch our show on the Dublin Arsenal YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Spotify and TikTok and on other social media outlets where Martin Stumble, who edits the show superbly for us, adds daily content and weekly content to the Instagram page. So thanks to Martin, because without him, as always, there wouldn't be a show.
Right. Carl, over there in the UK, you know the way we have Instagram. Have you got Insta Ounce? Because you're still on imperial measurements over there. The King Henry VIII job, you know? Insta Pound.
Insta Pound. You'll never catch on.
Anyway.
As Eamonn again rudely interrupts my intro. Thanks to our sponsor, clubgolf.co.uk. Use Dub Arsenal 10 for 10% discount. Where there's all the retro golf polo gear there, including the Bruce Banana range. Catch all our matches throughout the season in the official Dublin Arsenal supporters bar, the River Bar, where it's been absolutely rocking the last few weeks and all throughout the season. I know you can meet Eamonn and John there. I say you both agree, lads, it's been rocking, hasn't it, the last few weeks?
Been mental, yeah. The last couple of times I've been in, yes.
Well, it won't be after that announcement that me and John are there. There'll be nobody coming in.
It's Dublin Arsenal Hoods here tonight. I know, Ozzy, before we were coming on, we hope to see you for the Liverpool away game, April 9th. So fingers crossed you come out alive. And after that,
we got convinced Little Richard to come over with us as well. Not the singer, but you know, Little Richard.
No, it's I have to say, over the last few weeks, a lot of the US Gooners has been in the club. It's our own Brian on the WhatsApp group. We hope to have him on. It's just the time difference is kind of being a bit of a thing for him, but he hopes to be on the next week or two. So fingers crossed we can have him on. Also, give Beyond the Last Man, our sister podcast presented by Martin. He'll be covering the Women's League Cup final from yesterday. Well done to the Arsenal women's team. 3-1 winners over Chelsea, especially after going a goal down after the first minute through Sam Kerr, Blackstenius, Little and a Charles O.G. and our very own Katie McCabe, and an absolutely superb game in midfield for us. So well done, Katie, and well done to the Arsenal women's team. First trophy since 2019, and long may the trophies keep coming in, men's and women's. So well done to Jonas Eideval, the coach there. So listen to that Thursday, that show is. But of course, listen to us first. Last week's stats, myself and John done a 1-2 on Thursday. 40 views, John. 5 likes.
Really?
And-
Only 5? Oh my God.
Well, it was up from 3 from when 3 was done last. It must be them good looks, John. That shaven head look. The Baldy lad. And we have 2,880 subscribers. So we're getting near that 3,000 mark. So hopefully by April, we're hoping to get to touch 3,000. So even just to have it'd be 2 years this month, the podcast started first with John and myself and Brandon. And we've just to have nearly 3,000 is just amazing. You know, it started off just just to kill time, Jordan. COVID, it's growing week on week. So it's thanks to all the listeners and viewers. And please give any comments that you'd like to see added, any good content you want added, just throw it in the comment box. On this week's show, we'll be reviewing our 3-2 home success, courtesy of Reece Nansen, an absolute belter in the 97 minutes. We'll be previewing this Sunday, Premier League clash against Fulham, 2 p.m. on Sky Sports Premier League, and a brief mention of the Europa League clash on Thursday against Sporting Lisbon. If we kick on into the review of Bournemouth, I know Ozzy is fully recovered. I don't know if his liver's dried out yet, but our 3-2 home success. He's got rid of that hat, so it seems to be okay. Seems to be a new man looking at him. Wayne Rooney be proud of that mullet. No Turkish delight. It seems so long away now. 10 seconds we went down through Philip Billing for Bournemouth, and then Senesi scored from the corner for Bournemouth. They surprised me actually how well they defended and took their chances, to be honest. I thought myself and John were saying it was going to be 4 or 5-0, but how wrong you can be. But the comeback was really good. Party, White, and of course Reece Nelson, as Andy Gray says, what a hit, son. It was hard to say. It was one of those games where I thought we would have battered Bournemouth, but I suppose it's kind of a wake-up call as well, you know, going down 2-0 and to come back 3-2. The fighting spirit that's been installed in the team through Arteta is really refreshing to see. Never say die spirit. And again, Zinchenko all over the pitch had a great game. You know, he just seems to pop up everywhere, doesn't he? And I'm delighted for Reece Nancy. He scored 2 against Forest, didn't he, back in October? And to have him to come off the bench and score the winner should give him so much confidence. And hopefully he starts on Thursday against Lisbon. And I can't see why not. The win leaves us top with 63 points, 5 clear City on 58. Ozzy, I know you were at the match. Looked great atmosphere. It looked like we won the league, the way the fans celebrated. What was your view from your seat, which is an excellent seat because I've had it for the West Ham game?
Well, what can we say about it? It was the atmosphere was absolutely buzzing. To say I think it's one of the best atmospheres I've had at Sunny Emirates, and I've only just got off cloud 9 and recovered from it, to be honest. Because I don't think I've stopped smiling watching the third goal back. But look, I think if we do end up with a title, we will look back at this result. I think it's these games that win you a league, isn't it? You know, it's when the chips are down and it's against you. But I think the result and the atmosphere and everything sort of masked how bad we defended at the start, to be honest, because I think that first goal was absolutely terrible. Like I've tried watching and trying to work out, and I'd love to know the lads' thoughts on the goal, but really it was a terrible. We just didn't start, did we? We weren't asleep. I think when they scored that first goal, I think the ball went in between Zinni, Martinelli, Gabriel went for it, missed it, Saliba left it, and it kind of went. It just it was a bit of a shock. But I don't know about you, like watching on TV, or I know Eamonn was there as well, but just watching that game, it felt like one of those games where just everything was going to go against you. I didn't realise just how many shots we had. We had 31 shots in that game, and our possession was 81%. And it did, to be honest, it just felt like when I was there, certainly, I just felt like the game was just one of those days where we had chance after chance after chance. The amount of shots we hit from distance, skying it over the bar, and it just felt like one of them. But yeah, we persevered, and I think I've said before about sort of the character this team has shown. They've done it again, because I don't think, last season we'd have probably got a result out of this. And I'll say again, not knowing how it felt on TV, but 2-2, and what was going on with it, what was going on in the game, it felt like a loss. It was like, for me, it felt like a loss when I was in there. And when that third goal in was just a relief in that stadium, because we'd had chance after chance. I think coupled by the fact that we had numerous handball checks on VAR, which sort of intensified the atmosphere there as well, and also the amount of time wasting. And I didn't want to focus on that too much because it was a fantastic game in the end, but some of the time wasting by Neto was just unbelievable, and we'll talk about it later because I don't want to go into that too much. But it just really annoys me how a goalkeeper can be booked for time wasting and then continue to do it time and time again. Nothing gets done. It's been a regular thing at the Emirates this season. But I'll get off my soapbox there. But look, the goals, fantastic. I thought Bournemouth scored 2 good goals. They took him well. I thought that corner was fantastic. Pretty poor defending, but he took it really well, and he did impress me. But looking at our goals, I thought Partey was a great assist from Emil Smith-Rowe. I know Smith-Rowe came on. I didn't think he had. I think he looked unfit, or he certainly weren't ready. Or certainly lack of match fitness, I think. But it's a great cushioned header to Partey. I think Ben White's goal didn't get the credit. They never do when they don't hit the back of the net like that, do they? 'Cause it sort of ricocheted off the goalkeeper. But when you watch that replay of that goal, it's a fantastic move, and credit to Reece Nelson. And I'll tell you what, that wasn't easy out for shot from Ben White, and I thought he had a great game as well. Yeah. But let's talk about that goal. That goal in the last minute. It was just Reece Nelson. There was talk, would he even been in the squad if Eddie Nketiah was fit? On the bench, would he have came on? I don't know, but Eddie not being there, he came on and he absolutely took his chance. I thought this season is one of these substitutions where one player's changed the game for me. He added energy to it. He added something different. I do like Reece Nelson. I've always said I liked him, but it just the way he changed that game for me. He was dangerous, and in a way he kind of. They were doubling up on Saka being dangerous, and he kind of added the same sort of threat from his side, and it kind of balanced it up a little bit, give Saka a bit more room. And I just felt that they could handle Saka, but they couldn't handle both of them together, and that's what he had space, and he punished them. And fair play to the lad. He checked, 1 assist, 1 goal, fantastic performance from Reece Nelson, but there was some real key moments in that from Ramsdale, who did an awesome save in that first half, and I also thought Ben White had a cracking game as well. But yeah, there you go. I've spoken enough about it, but I'm still on cloud 9 about it, still buzzing because can't stop smiling when I see the replays. I'd love to know what you other guys think about it as well. But overall, we got away with it. I think it's 3-2 against Bournemouth, but yeah, we got a result, 3 points, and that's all that matters today.
Yeah, another 3-2. It reminds me of a United game where Eddie Nketiah got the winner in the last few moments. Shows how we've turned from last season. Hayden product as well, getting the winner. Can't get any better, really, kind of for Arsenal fans, And if he doesn't stay on in the summer, he'd always be remembered for that strike if that wins us the title, because I think that's the turning point in the season, lads. I think that win will go down if we do go on to win the league, as that was the game. From a small name manager, as Eamonn pointed out on WhatsApp. Eamonn, you were there as well. How did you see the game, Eamonn?
I was in the clock end for a change.
Nice.
It was a fantastic day. What I'll say about the first goal is the Arsenal turned up like the crowd. The crowd were all taking photographs. Yeah. I think it was because we'd done such a good job on Everton in the second half that everybody just expected. we're just going to continue that on and steamroll these guys. And we were all kind of, and then all of a sudden, like, Gabriel was asleep, Saliba was asleep, and Partey was asleep for the first goal. But look, you can understand that. It's 9 seconds. You know, you do not expect Bournemouth to come in and go on a very aggressive punch after 9 seconds.
Yeah.
But that lesson will be learned. I guarantee you, with the manager we have, that will not happen again.
Yeah.
Right? But the reason why that happened was everybody was kind of saying, let the good times roll. Right? We tried to get back into the game. I think we did okay. How important was that Ramsdale save? I'm telling you, that goal would have hurt us more than the actual goal they scored because of the way it happened. We were all high up the pitch trying to do what we do, and they absolutely carved us open, right? And if that had gone in, I think that would have broken our spirits a bit more than the goal that actually went in a strange kind of way. And it was a brilliant save because he's gone and lifted it, and he still gets his hand up. It was an absolutely brilliant save. People say that, like, we struggle with the low block, as they call it now. Well, you know, every team that comes to us plays that way. And I have to say to you, when you see it on television, you think we're not doing anything. We are absolutely relentless. Relentless. And it's all very well with that low block. Leicester did it last week. I was at Leicester last week, right? Leicester did it last week. You cannot continue that for 90 minutes. You just can't, you know, and gaps begin to appear and all of that. And Arsenal, because they're coached so well, they don't panic. They just continue do what they do, and it might draw a few groans here and there, kick it forward, cross it into the box. They do what they do, and the whole idea is these guys will get stretched too much eventually. They cannot keep that up for 90 minutes. And I thought, look, particularly from the clock end, because I'm normally sitting in the behind the dugout, you can actually see how relentless we are at pinging the ball across the pitch, right? And any time that we haven't been successful this season is because we didn't do that quick enough. And I think both John and I have made that point, and Ozzy, you know. I think the second goal that Bournemouth got, the one thing that you wouldn't have seen on television is the reaction of the Arsenal players. While Bournemouth were still celebrating, the ball was down on the halfway line and we were ready to kick off. And that was very instructive. Yeah. There was nobody looking around saying, it was your fault, it was your fault. What? There was no Bruno Fernandes rat face. I'm going to kick somebody because of frustration, because it's so frustrating. I won't say that. But the ball was placed on the halfway line. All of the Arsenal players were ready to go. And I got a sense out of that. Do you know what? Something can still happen here. You know? I think the substitutions were brave. Tomiyasu, for some reason, was way off the pace. I don't know why, but he was way off the pace. And Ben White made such a difference when he came on. The guy has become an absolute stellar wide player, Ben White. He gives so much. Reece Nelson came on, and that's no down on Eamonn Smith-Rowe. The snap had gone out of his legs. Like he was after playing 60 odd minutes for the first time in a long time. I thought he was quite good when he was on, but Nelson offered something a bit snappier because Bournemouth's legs were gone and Nelson's legs were fresh, right? I think the Ben White goal, again, as Ozzy said, you'd love to see it rustle the net because it deserved it. Because for a defender, apparently, right, the technique and control and the level-headedness he did to strike that ball the way he did was exceptional. And then for the goal itself, I have to say hats off to Reece Nelson. I was harsh on that boy before, and rightly so, because his attitude wasn't great. He was overweight. He wasn't training hard enough. He went away to Fine Art. Was it Fine Art, John?
Yeah.
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 First thing they said about him was he wasn't fit. That's a bad state of affairs for an Arsenal player, right? To go away to Fine Art and be told you're not fit. He's come back and he's realised he once was the blue chip player for his age in England. He's got himself really in shape and he is a really good player. And for that goal, he could have whacked that with his right foot, just giving it a welly. But he knew he was going to be blocked down and he shifted onto his left. And if you look at the technique, right, his left foot is his weaker foot. And anybody who's played football will tell you, if you're going to hit it on the volley with your weaker foot, try and put your body through it. If you look at it again, he put his whole body through that. And it was an incredible strike. And incredible to keep his head the way he did at that time. He could have just whacked it with his right foot. We'd have gone off 2-2. And sure, look, it's a point. But he didn't do that, It was, and the atmosphere, when that goal went in, I have not seen anything like that.
No.
In all of my days supporting the Arsenal, I have not seen anything like that. I met Carl for a drink afterwards, and I have to say, I could see that he was going to be so inebriated.
And through to his
way. He was on the way. But the last thing I'm going to say before John comes in is, we now have 63 points. That was our tally 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
With 12 games left. So if anybody wants to know about the trajectory we're on. Yeah. There's your gauge, Yeah.
It's an incredible turnaround from last season. It really is, from 13 defeats over the whole season to 3, but they all, like that 11 is just...
Well, we can still possibly finish with 15 defeats, John.
Look, the main thing is...
We're mathematically safe from relegation, though.
I was just going to say that, John. Let's get the bread and butter done first. We're not going down, lads. We are staying up.
Look, just one more thing before John comes in. Look, I said a few weeks ago on this show, if we could cement the top 4, then we're on a free hit, right? Yeah. And I'm telling you, looking at what's the points tallies, we could almost go in relegation form and get the top 4 spot.
Yeah.
So we have a free hit now.
Yeah, we've a free hit at Anfield, Henry, because we've a nice cushion there, after what he done to United. But the attitude of United players was disgusting. If I was a fan, I'd be disgusted the way their heads went down after 1-0. They were still in the game and he just completely... Anthony should never play again. His attitude stank, I have to say. No tracking back. When you see our players this season, I tell you, there is one player that's really stood out for me this season, and that's Zinchenko. He's a different, he's just different breed, really refreshing to see. He took the game by the scruff of the neck. It was his shot actually that got deflected for the corner that led to the winning goal as well. But no, it really is. It's great. And Jesus, you saw him at the end on the sideline. He's just, I can't wait for him to come back as well. John, I know, were you in the River Bar Saturday? How did you see the game?
No, to be brutally honest, I was at a family function on Saturday with my phone beside me, buzzing like crazy. I did get to see the whole game afterwards. I was able to record it.
Yeah.
But needless to say, I don't think I'll be invited back to that restaurant when I seen that third goal go in. Quite literally, politely dragged out by the collar from my good lady girlfriend to stop me singing from North London Forever, because I was getting right up people's noses at that stage. And I wasn't even drinking, so I had people around me. So come on. So I got to see the game, knowing the score. And I am so grateful that, because I might have to watch it through that. I think I would have had a heart attack. It was just insane. Someone said to me today, if Arsenal had kicked off that match, it would have been a tame, I think, home nil. You wouldn't have got that excitement. You wouldn't have got that finish. I think we would have, coasted to a win. But Bournemouth start, as Eamonn said, was I've never seen it before. And the way it worked, I'm actually surprised they used it against us rather than another team in that relegation battle, because they won't get away with that again. So I was actually really surprised they used it against us. And I was really surprised at how lethargic we were. We weren't ready for kickoff. As Eamonn said, it caught us all off guard. And so many mistakes, so many people just not switched on. And that's not like Arsenal. If you listen to me and Johnny talking about the Everton game, great second half, played them off the park, but we gave away a huge amount of chances. And Ramsey had to be on the ball that night, and thank God he was alive for that opportunity in the middle of the second half. That's one of the best pieces of goalkeeping I've seen in a long, long time. He had the ball coming across, he wasn't going to get to it himself, and he had two Bournemouth players coming in. Who do I go to? And he was able to arc his run, so he covered both. It was
incredible, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And 2-0 down middle of the second, in the middle of the first half. That could have, as Eamonn said, knocked the stuffing out of you. The second goal, I think that's another training ground move. They're running off the ball, the blocking of defenders. Good goal. Got to give it a good goal. And at that stage, Bournemouth were playing as hard as they've ever been all season. They were working like crazy, and 2-0 up. Must have felt like Christmas. Yeah. And one thing about this team under Arteta, I think 5 or 6 years ago, Arsenal would have folded. Probably would have lost the game 2-0. We might have got a token goal in injury time to make it 2-1. As Johnny said, the difference between Arsenal and Manchester United of this weekend, chalk and cheese. They threw in the towel. They were an absolute disgrace. I watched that game. I was shocked at how they could.
Yeah, disgusting. Yeah.
And as Eamonn said, you didn't see this Arsenal team throwing that towel. They rolled their sleeves up and just got back on it. We're going to push this. We're going to pressure them into it. We're going to get back into it. We are not finished. And even after the equaliser, we're not finished. We're going for the win. The pressure. And I'm delighted to see referees adding on that extra time. I mean, the game between Arsenal and Villa was 2-0. All that time wasting from Martinez. Cut him out in the end. All the time wasting from Neto. Cut him out in the end. This has to be, this should be a wake-up call. The goalkeeper, stop wasting time against Arsenal. The referees are going at other arms, not going to get you. The pure resilience of this squad is just amazing. As Eamonn said, it's a free hit. Top four was the target. Anything else is a bonus. We won the league. That's an incredible bonus. But I'm just so glad I didn't watch that live. Honest to Christ. I don't think your heart could have taken it. I've seen videos of what the River Bar was like, and it went mental, as you can imagine. What it would have been like in the stadium. Oh dear God! I was at the game when Arshavin scored the winner against Barcelona. I don't think I've ever seen an atmosphere in the Emirates that could come close to that. Bournemouth, injury time winner, last kick of the game.
Mickey Thomas, 1989, lads.
Everything went on, everything that was on the line. Oh, football. Drive you mad, wouldn't it? Oh, God. Why do we do it? Why do we do it? We do it for days like that. That's why we do it.
Yeah, that's why you do it.
Absolutely insane. Yeah. But to be absolutely, just be realistic here. Back to this, so many chances we're giving up defensively. We're playing three at the back. Zinchenko's an incredible footballer. We're not playing with a left back. We're not playing with a Gilberto or a Vieira or a Petit in front of that back four. It's 6 attackers, 3 defenders and a goalkeeper. And we're leaving ourselves wide open. Better teams will punish us. It's a hell of a ride watching it. It's incredible what it works. We pressure teams until they make mistakes.
But John, I'm not so sure that we play that way against better teams. I just think that he's very much into risk and reward.
Eamonn, absolutely. And it's a hell of a ride watching it. I'm 53 in May. I'd like to live to see 54. Honestly, God, it's incredible. And that kind of defending will make you grow a hole quickly.
Yeah.
But I'm delighted to have a goalkeeper like Ramsey who's on the ball and can produce
There's
saves.
there's some Turkish lad gone home with orthopedic trouble after I leapt over the seat behind me and just kind of super.
Really?
It was just one of those days, you know.
Yeah.
It just went absolutely bonkers, you know.
Them
I
days
just
are
leapt over the seat.
them were the days of 1 in a million. And I remember being a Highbury when we beat United 3-2, the David Platt header. You remember that one?
What a header!
I do. 83rd minute, like 83rd minute. Yeah.
Yeah. My glasses flew off. We were jumping around that long. He must have landed down beside the pitch. And by the time we all calmed down, they were handed back to me, nothing broken. Thanks be to God. I have no idea. They just went. I have no idea where they ended up. And I can only imagine something similar would have happened on.
What about David Platt's celebration that day? The Barnet was going up this way in the wind.
I mean, I remember the North Bank goal mental, and that's looking at the celebrations, the crowd, and on the side of the pitch is exactly how it felt.
It was a perfect storm, my mate. Honestly, it was a perfect storm because it was all the time wasting, the VAR decisions. It just honestly wound the crowd up, Eamonn, didn't it? You felt it, and there was I think we had 6 minutes of injury time, and I think they'd pretty much passed, hadn't they? Because I was sitting in a dugout, Arteta asked the fourth official. He said, "How long?" He said, "How long? How long?" He said, 2 minutes. When he said 2 minutes, Arteta was going like this to the crowd. 2 minutes, come on! Like we got one more attack because I think the whole crowd had given up. We had this attack, didn't we? It fizzled out.
That's right, yeah.
And then he came with another 2 minutes. Oh, it's unbelievable.
John, there's a brilliant feature on Arsenal.com. It's a fast forward injury time, and it shows. It's a 3-minute clip, and it shows there's tweets coming in during injury time. And when the goal goes in, it goes to Ian Wright's, wherever he was watching the game.
Oh, he was in the BBC studio, yeah.
He went absolutely bonkers, you know? Absolutely bonkers. Brilliant.
It's refreshing, though, to see that's what you just said there, Eamonn, what an ex-pro still feels for Arsenal, you know, of the club, that he, you know, he's more of a fan than he was a player, you know. Isn't it great to see?
You all carry that. You look at Carragher and Neville. You look at even Martin Keown. They all carry that. They all carry that.
I heard, like when you see him at the Women's Cup final yesterday, he's Arsenal through and through. You know, like even the move when he left Arsenal, he says it wasn't the same. You know, there's something about Arsenal. There's a special bond there between the club, the fans, and the players. You know, you can't recreate. But like for one of your own to score the winner as well, a Hayland project, it just makes it even more special, doesn't it?
That was another thing that was said to me. Those injury time winners, all scored by
your own.
Eddie, obviously Reece Nelson and Emiliano Martinez all came through Hayland.
John, we've won 6 points in the 90+ minutes since January.
Yeah,
6 points. Right? Now you think about that. Obviously, we're not going to win the league. Let's all ring the Samaritans after the show. Like, obviously, we're not going to win the league, and we're not allowed to talk about that. But listen, I'm going to say something to you now. If you were in the Man City ranks with your smug little hairband as a Jack Grealish and your smug little, you know, smug face Guardiola and all that type of thing, and all that patronising stuff that they do. Arsenal are very good, but we came there and we won. You're kind of beginning to think, these fellas won't go away. They're like Rasputin. They're after getting 6 points. Like we went up to the Arsenal and we beat them. And then we screwed up against Nottingham Forest. And what did these guys do? They get 2 points at the end of the game against Aston Villa, get another 2 points there. And that has to get in on people. It has to. And it has to have two effects. It has to obviously augment our belief, but it has to say to them, these are not going away.
No.
These are not going away.
But look what that City defeat done, Eamonn. We've won our last 3 games. It's injected a fire again. You know,
how do you respond?
Yeah, it's how we respond and how we've responded has shocked Guardiola in particular. I think he never thought that this squad
down
would
at
last
half-time
the
against
pace.
Villa. He had to bounce back, and he did bounce back.
Yeah.
2-0 down against Bournemouth. We had to respond, and we did respond. Let's say there's a bit of character in this squad.
There really is. Yeah. I have to say, Partey's really stood up this season. He's the player
again. He was good again. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reception Granit Xhaka got coming off the bench is amazing. The way he's turned the fans' heads as well. Like, you know, he's playing with a smile on his face. And taking the captaincy was probably the best thing that ever happened to him because he's playing as a leader now without the hair.
That's him. He's still a leader. In that dressing room, he's still a leader. They still look at him. Yeah. Don't make any mistake about that.
And, like, it's frightening to think Jesus is coming back now and hopefully he makes the impact which, you know, scored more goals, you know, because, like, I'm just looking at the goals scored. We've scored 59, City of 66, and we've both conceded 25 each. We're only 7 behind them now and goals scored, you know. It's if it does come down to goals, but I think there's enough cushion there. But like, April's the tricky month. There's Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Leeds are fighting for their lives as well. But that's a home game. You'd expect them in that.
Jonathan, we've moved on from that. There's no tricky. No, seriously. There's no tricky months anymore. Like, we're on a run-in now.
Watching Bournemouth.
No, Jonathan, we're on a title run-in now. Every game is going to be tricky. Every game is going to be tricky.
The pressure's just gone up. Look,
the games I feared against is actually the next two, Fulham and Palace, are the ones I've kind of feared.
No, I fear them all. This is the point I'm making to you. I fear them all.
Yeah, I suppose, look, you have to take each opposition. You know, you have to respect the opposition and go.
What I'm trying to explain to the viewers, right, is that seriously now.
Everything will be okay.
No, what I'm trying to explain is that we're in different territory now. We have the Champions League spots all but nailed.
Yeah.
We've realised the ambition that we started at the season, and we now have a free hit at the title.
Yeah.
And you've got 12 games. And the mentality has to be, every game now, it's 12 cup finals. Every one of them. It doesn't matter whether it's Liverpool away, whether it's Leeds at home, whether who's fighting for their life, whether Ken Barner was knocked the bollocks out with Deirdre. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We've now got ourselves into the position that we all said last November, if we could get to the point where we are matching City with their obsession with the Champions League, in and around this time of year, we've got a chance. So, as Dave O'Leary would say, as I say, get on with it.
Are we saying, lads, before we move on to the Fulham preview, are we saying that we're realistic now that we are title contenders?
Absolutely.
No. We've been saying that for weeks, Johnny. What have you been? What podcast have you been listening to?
Are we really?
Well, he's been saying Arteta out.
Well, I still would like a big name manager, but that's for another day. I tell you, if he wins the league in May, I know to become a Spurs fan. Actually, I let that out. Actually. No, if Ozzy gets a hair transplant and we win the league, I'll die a happy man before my 40th birthday.
It's all about the hair on this show, isn't it, really?
Black up.
Is that your best shot, like, you know? I think it's a disgrace.
Put a sock in a bird. No, it's great to see, though, lads, isn't it? Like, it's great that we never saw this coming 12 months ago. From where we, you know, after that Spurs game at Shide Hard Lane, you know, it's the turnaround. We've seen the documentary how passionate Arteta is with the group of players, and like he's weeded out the ones he didn't see part of his plans. And
absolutely,
it's just I have to say it is. I've criticised him now. I'll put hand on heart now. I've criticised him and maybe unfairly because he wasn't a manager that you thought would have came in. You know, I was expecting a manager everyone would have recognised, but like to take a gamble on him. I suppose Ozzy what he's learned from Guardiola has helped him, hasn't it?
Yeah, don't underestimate how important that documentary was as well. I know we laughed about it at the time, but the connection that got between fans and the club,
Absolutely.
I think that I was a bit dubious of that when it first came out and how it was going to be edited, but for Arteta's vision and to get that connection with the fans, that documentary was massive. I think we all warmed to him. We understood what he was about for players as well.
Coincided with the team that came close to the top four. A young side, and had a couple of years finishing eighth. We saw something last season on the pitch, and obviously the documentary showed you something off the pitch, and it just happened to coincide, and it just grabbed people's attention.
And it just showed you, for me, like as moments in that documentary, and we're going over old ground here, but that showed how much the fans meant to the players as well. And I think that you can see that in the atmosphere. And when they need us, sometimes at the Emirates, to after we concede a goal, there's no moaning, there's no grumbling. Like you say, like Eamonn said, they're all ready to kick off again. But the fans are up. The fans are up off their seat where I was, singing Arsenal songs. It's nuts. And I don't know, as an away fan, what that must feel like. You've just scored a goal, and then we're not taking it down.
But before you move on to the Fulham game, I got back a couple of years to when I was kind of saying to people, be patient with Arteta. And I'll tell you why. I looked at the way he played his football, right? And he wasn't a Steven Gerrard, Roy of the Rovers. Steven Gerrard tactically hadn't got a clue. He was just brilliant, right? He could get up and down. He could do everything. But he could never control the tempo of a game. Arteta was a tempo player. He wasn't as talented as a lot of guys. And guys like that tend to make better managers if they have the personality for it, because they have a deep understanding of the game. And my view about Arteta was the way he poured himself into Arsenal as a player. There was never going to be a doubt about his credential in terms of his love for the club. The way he played football, his intelligence, right? There was never going to be a doubt about his understanding of the game. The only question mark then would be, how do you manage people, right? And he seems to be able to do that. And he surrounded himself with good coaching staff.
Absolutely.
And that in itself is very humble, because you get some people who don't surround themselves with good coaching staff because they think they can do everything and they can't.
But he takes everything on board,
So just to finish, I always said that he is going to become a great manager. Why wouldn't he become one with us if we just give him patience and time? And I think that apple has begun to kind of really, really blossom on the tree, And I think it's a brilliant story for the Arsenal, because I remember how choked he was when he had to retire.
Yeah.
And I read Arseblog the other day saying that, do you remember when he retired? He could have played on for another season or two and been an imposter, but he knew he couldn't do it because he seeks perfection.
Yeah.
And he hung up his boots, when he probably could have gone to, Palace or whatever. And that's no disrespect to Palace. He probably could have played another year or two, but he knew, I'm not fooling anybody here now. My body is gone. I'm done, Oh.
It's a sign of a true pro as well, yeah. You're not hanging on for another payday. You want to go away with your head held high. I remember that season, I think it was 2012, he scored the 1-0 against City. Did that rocket of a shot. And there was another game, I think it was actually 11 years this month, actually. He scored a cracker of a free kick against Villa. It was the day Stilian Petrov actually was diagnosed with, I think it was testicular cancer at the time. But he earned a free kick was given actually in goal. And there was a good few standout moments. He was coming to, he was at the back end of his career, but he really, when he did play for Arsenal, Eamonn, he came in, what was it, a season or two he lasted, but he was really, you could see the difference.
5 years.
5 years, was he?
Yeah, he came to us at the age of 29.
Yeah.
And he played 5 years for us,
Was it 5? Yeah, I didn't think it was that long.
Yeah.
Because he came in with that group of signings on the last day of the transfer.
Yeah, to Saka, Santos and Arteta.
Yeah.
And Benayoun.
Oh, yeah.
Signed within a couple of days. Yeah.
That's right.
I
Actually,
think we're after being rolled over 8-2 at up
that's
in
right.
That's right. Yeah.
somewhere up in England. I don't know where it was.
Yeah, look, hats off to Arteta
That's too soon. Yeah.
for the job he's done in such a short space of time, and to be given the chance, as Eamon said, is a big thing, you know, unproven at the time as well. Yeah. Your man of the match, lads. Let's start with you, Ozzy, from Saturday. Who's your man of the match?
Yeah, man of the match for me. I'm going to go the obvious choice, Reece Nelson. Just how he changed the game. 1 goal, 1 assist. Yeah, well done to that lad. But no, he's fantastic.
Eamon?
Reece White. I can't separate. No, I cannot separate.
They both changed the game, though, didn't they?
I cannot separate the two of them. They both changed the game. So I'm going to have to go with Ben White and Reece Nelson. They changed everything. Ben White was incredible.
He was.
Again.
Yeah. An impact sub, yeah. John, your man of the match? From what you saw?
The goalkeeper. I just get past that stage. And, you know, he's been doing it all season. So, man of the match. Ramsdale, yeah.
I'm going to give it to Reece Nelson as well, just for the impact he had off the bench and terrorising Adam Smith down that side as well. Yeah. No, fair play to him. I have to say, I was really impressed with him against Forest at the end of October when he scored a brace. And again, he was given a chance and he took it, you know, so hats off. We go on to the preview of Fulham on this coming Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff on Sky Sports Premier League. Another big one away. I don't know at the moment what the score is of the
1-0 half time. Yeah.
Bows are winning 3-1. Sorry, that's the big game.
Thank you.
Come on.
I have to do a double. I have to do a double tune here. We are Bows. Always believe in Zinchenko. Whoa.
I like that actually. Yeah. We must start singing that at the Ursa games. Give me a B.
I'll give you a B in your bonnet.
That's the end of Eamon again on another show. Of course, we won 2-1 back in August against Fulham at home. Mitrovic got the opener, and Odegaard and Gabriel got the winning goals for us that day. Fulham have actually surprised me how well they've done under Marco Silva. Their transfer policy has been really good. They've brought in really good signings.
Really good.
Weird Leno in particular, who I always admired as Arsenal. He's just unlucky that he got stuck up against Ramsdale. And Will.i.am, who became really from a music sensation to a brilliant Brazilian footballer. He's really shed that weight loss. That's really worked wonders for him. That goulash that he's had has knocked to be at least 3 or 4 inches off him. No, really good pro. He ended his contract with us when he knew, you know, when it was time to go. So I have to say, hats off to William. He looks a different player under Marco Silva, I have to say. Their signings have been really good, though. Bowen Morty, I think, is Marco Silva's assistant. They've been good at home at Craven Cottage, and I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here. I think this is going to be a tough game for us. I think Fulham will match us on the day. I'll start with you, John. How do you see this one going?
That game was tough. The game we played earlier in the season, that was a really tough game. They lay down a marker for what they're capable of. If we're going to beat them, we have to be at our best. That's genuinely what I believe. What's his name? Milosevic, the striker. Mitrovic. Sorry. He is a handful. And he will give Saliba and Gabriel plenty to think about and plenty to work on. But we play our game. We pressure. We force mistakes. We make the other team work hard. I don't expect it to be easy. But after the heart attack football of this weekend, maybe a nice, easy, pain-free, stress-free 1-0 win to the Arsenal all-skill result would be absolutely ideal. To wash down a few beers, chill out and relax. A nice Sunday afternoon, and yeah, you know, no histrionics, no need for a defibrillator. None of that. No need to have oxygen tanks on standby. Just a nice, comfortable 1-0 win would be, just what the doctor ordered. Thanks. Can you arrange that, please?
We'll forward that to Arteta after the show.
Yeah, he said it. Thank you.
I think the last time we played Fulham at Craven Cottage, I think, was when Ramsdale had that audacious back flick, wasn't it, for the goal?
Calvin Aimer were there.
Were you there for that game?
Yeah, there for that game.
That was right in the way fans' end, wasn't it?
Again, that first half, they gave us enough to think about. It was only 1-1 at half time. We blew them away in the second half.
Yeah.
Oh, not only were we there for that game, but John and Kate Ryan deserted me and left me in Victoria on my own, watching Liverpool and Man City because they had an early flight on the Sunday. Yeah.
A reasonable time. We got home at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
Eamonn, how do you see this going? It's not there, as you agreed earlier. Their transfer policy's been really good, hasn't it? They've signed.
I haven't a clue, Bill. No, you see, as Paul Gascoigne said, I don't make predictions and I never will. Right? I hate doing this because I'm a bloody Jonah, right? But I'm going to. If nobody's listening, it's like that Sesame Street. Everybody want to buy a Z. I think we win 2-1. Oh, okay. I think you can score against Fulham, and they can score against you. Yeah. So I don't see that 1-0 result. I really don't. They don't.
See it happening, no.
They don't play defensive football. They play right now. So do Leicester. And I was at Leicester, and I couldn't believe that Leicester set up the way they did. And if Fulham set up the way they did, well, then you're looking at, can we break them down and all that? I just think that Fulham are a bit more on the front foot than Leicester. They're looking for a Europa League place. And I think they'll fancy themselves, which might suit us, to be honest with you. I think the pressure of us playing at home was there for all to see against Everton in the first half, against Bournemouth in the first half, and we might be slightly liberated. It depends on what we do on Thursday night as well. There's all that to consider. Yeah, but I think, we're looking at somewhere between 12 and 20 games left in the season. It's time to energise ourselves and go up there and boss the game and do what we do. So if we do that, and if the attitude is right, John, you always say that, if we do that and earn the right to play football and the attitude is right, we're capable of getting a 2-1 win. So I predict 5-0 for Fulham.
I think as well, lads, I think the first goal could be a crucial one as well, and there's a lad that plays for Fulham and he's had a good few weeks. Solomon is his name, and he seems to be a bit of a baller as well. Ozzy, how do you see the game going at the Cottage?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tight. They're a well-coached side. I've got to be respectful for them because they do things right as well.
Yeah.
Me and Eamonn were joking about transfer policies at the weekend, weren't we, with Chelsea? Did you say £10?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to call Chelsea CSKA Fulham.
we sort of compared them to an auction. If you just say it's just shout, they just sit there in the wings putting silly bids in. But no, look, I respect I respect Fulham, shall say, because they've done things right in the transfer market. They've signed some good players. They're well coached. I think it's going to be tough. I was borderline 1-1. I was nearly Johnny. But I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. Stay positive. But defence need to up their game though. Certainly against Mitrovic. Oh yeah, Pereira playing for him as well. I know he's quite nifty as well. So yeah, I think 2-1, and I hope we get a result we need. But yeah, keep that momentum going. But I say big game. Depending on what happens Thursday as well. I think the side selection we picked up a few niggles. We didn't talk about the Trossard injury. That's going to knock him out for a few weeks as well, at least. So yeah, we're picking up a few knocks as well. We just long as we get through Thursday night with not many knocks, and let's see a few changes on Thursday, but I don't think as many we can make, if I'm honest. So it's a test of the squad, and we'll see how they turn up against Fulham.
But Carl, isn't it wonderful? I think Trossard's been fantastic since he's come. But isn't it wonderful that you'd kind of say, well, we can put Reece Nelson on.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? I'll tell you what.
Imagine if Mudryk got injured after paying 100 million. Like.
Did you say 100 million, Eamonn? I'll double that.
That's Trossard's injury. He got that. He was their centre forward. Trossard's injury. He was their centre forward. He got that injury, barreling back.
Yeah.
Then that when Ramsdale made that save against Bournemouth in the 22nd, 23rd minute, he sprinted back like a gazelle, and that's when
it's his hamstring, is it?
That's the kind of attitude these players have.
Groin.
You know, that was their centre forward.
Yeah.
So
it's refreshing to see.
I meant to say that earlier in my match analysis. Like, if you look at the Ben White goal, the desire of about 3 or 4 guys to get in to score. I mean, Reece Nelson, actually, in fairness to him, he picked out the guy who was in the best position. But it was like the flying squad. It's like the Red Arrows.
Yeah.
You know?
You said about squad depth as well, actually. Jorginho, obviously where I sit, I was right down by the Arsenal bench, and he was orchestrating from the sideline.
Did you see that?
Did you see
it? Yeah.
Did you see? He was almost like a carbon copy of Arteta from.
That man already is an Arsenal legend to me.
He was bossing people around left, right, and centre, telling them where to be, and he's. You know what? He reminded me of Arteta.
Exactly.
He's like, yeah.
He's a winner.
Like I said on the show last week, he plays like Arteta did.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, it's good to see. So we've got some squad depth. Let's see what happens Thursday. I think Thursday's, like Eamonn said, I think Thursday's got a big impact on this game as well. Let's keep that momentum going. That's all we need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, the Europa League, I wouldn't be too mad on winning. To be honest, just go for the Premier League now. I think just go for it. You know. No, I don't think the Europa League is important, John. One less headache to worry about for the run-in, you know. Because as
you challenge them with trophies, you want that headache. You want them games. You want.
Absolutely.
What would you prefer, lads? Would you prefer the Premier League over the Europa League?
We all.
It's there. You gotta go for it. You gotta.
We'd all prefer the Jonathan. Answer to your question. Just calm down now, lads. Right? The answer to the question is we all want the Premier League. Every one of us wants the Premier League. But supposing you were to come second in the Premier League and throw away the Europa League.
Don't start.
And then the fellas like yourself.
I don't want to talk on my show.
Then the fellas like yourself saying you need big name managers who win trophies. Trophies.
I'm then wondering if he doesn't win either trophy.
I'm seeing a double standard again, and I thought you turned that corner.
Education needs more, more education needs. One of these days,
unless he starts delivering Premier League trophies, my head will not be turned. We are a big club that needs a big name manager, and I just hope Arteta.
We're all having a laugh and a joke, but we're all glad to report we actually have one.
Well, I'd say that come May 28 when Arteta gets the boot. No, look, it's this. Look, either side of winning. If we don't win either trophy, it's the brand of football and the style of football is refreshing, and the way he's got the fans back on track, they're excited again. You know, there's an expectation now, and there's an atmosphere in the Emirates that we haven't seen since, let's be honest, since it was even built back in 2006. You know, there is that. There's a passion again. You know, and it's great to see. You know, it's great. It really is. It's great to see us back up there challenging because it's been a long time coming.
I don't know what age you are, Carl. I know you're in your early 30s.
I wish, right? I wish.
Yeah. But John and I would remember the UEFA Cup. If you won the UEFA Cup in the season, it was one of the biggest things. It really was a European trophy to win. So let's not just throw the Europa League to the side yet. Now that's a European trophy, you know.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate it's not in Dublin because the final's here next year, which is just unfortunate. Yeah, but no, yeah, it's true. A trophy's a trophy, isn't it?
Well, we won't be in it. Next year.
Well,
sure.
I'm not saying anything. There's 12 games.
We won't be in it next year for sure. We'll be playing in different competition. you know.
The Europa
I think
Conference
Craig said,
League.
didn't he? Champions League finals at Wembley, right?
No, look, isn't it great, lads, that we're coming back to the Champions
Get
League
ahead of
football again, and Ozzy's on to get a hair transplant come May.
That's it.
It's the way your work can change in the season.
You'll get one when you get a brain transplant, Johnny. Come on.
I needed full lobotomy.
Anyway,
Straight
before we sign off, Spurs are going well.
Big name manager, look what's happening to
There you
them. Am I not even?
I just thought I'd throw it out there. You know?
Spurs, are you listening? For pleasure, having a laugh. I love to see misery in them fuckers' faces. Getting rid of Matt Doherty, that's what happens, lads. He starts dropping like a stone.
Yeah, he should come back to Bowes, higher standard.
No, it's brilliant. Look, isn't it, lads? Like, it's just great to see. 2 months left of the season and flying high. Brilliant. Seya Kanasinic got the winning goal for Marseille against Rennes last night. I don't think anyone else really on the loan watch. I think Balogun had a good game for Reims. They're going really well. A lad that they got off Football Manager. No, nonetheless, and they're being fined $7,000 every week because he's no coaching patches. Why didn't I think of that earlier? Yeah, we were just saying before we came on air, regards tickets, lads. It's all but it's the golden ticket now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Golden ticket. It is,
It's
yeah.
like gold. It's like hen's teeth out of the moment. Yeah.
The supporters club is literally gone.
No, it's kind of Charlie Bucket.
Yeah.
I got the golden ticket. Yeah, it's hard. They are.
Yeah.
You know, we're really under pressure, but we're doing our best, you know.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Ozzy for getting me Palace ticket there, and it was gone within minutes.
Wiped within minutes.
Once I was about to click on
It
flights.
It is like that though. It's literally a ticket comes up and it's gone. It's kind of heartbeat there. Yeah, it's you got to take it where you get a chance. I think
It was a tough decision to have you on. You broke my heart yesterday when you said that to me.
The only thing I'll say to you, DJ, is if you ask the club on time, you have a chance. As I say, you have a chance.
If I don't get tickets for Brighton or Wolves, I'm scrapping this whole podcast.
Oh, Jesus. You're definitely not getting tickets now.
You've got faith, Johnny.
To be honest, I think viewers probably say they like to see the back of us. Is there anything else football related, Cam Barlow, that you'd like mentioned?
No, there's nothing else.
No, I'd like to dedicate this month to the charity Deborah.ie. It's where I said me and John were saying it there in Torsey. Where the skin sadly blisters. I think we all know what so just Deborah.ie is the site for any donations, and also this month is the 22nd anniversary of David Rocastle passing. So it's hard to believe it's 22 years. It's just when you see that documentary of writing and all, it kind of brings it back, doesn't it? Yeah. So I thought I'd dedicate this month to Rocky, and to win the title would be even sweeter, wouldn't it?
it would be.
I'd like to thank my guest this week, as always, Ozzy. Big shout out to Daddy Ozzy as well. I say he's proud of that hair transplant. Eamonn, thanks for coming on. And John, as always, thanks for coming back again. Our next show is next Monday. So until then, have a good week, lads, and thanks for listening.
Come on,
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.